G'day playmates, and welcome to another Harmer vid on TrainSim World. This is featuring the new DLC, downloaded content, and it features a USA run from New York northeast to New Rochelle, and this is a scenario of my own devising. I put it together a couple of days ago. So this vid's going to be in two parts because, as you can see from the map here, it's a long day scenario. The New York DLC features both a passenger route and a freight route. I'm going to feature the freight route because I think there'll be lots of folks covering the passenger part. So here's my first map for my scenario, and Route 1 from Fresh Pond Junction to Hunts Point Terminal. So we'll be picking up a consist here, we'll be dropping it off here, basically heading north. Spawning walking at 8:30 AM at Fresh Pond Junction. Brief walk west to uncouple the front loco and jump aboard and go to map 2. Dispatcher has given me fast freight service status, so I can travel up to 15 miles an hour in shunting areas, which is normally around about 10, and up to 35 miles an hour in all other areas. The cool thing about TrainSim World is that you can actually speed. You can actually go over the restricted speed sections without any penalty. I think, apart from the fact that if you actually go too fast, you will actually derail the loco. So that's a really good feature, especially for scenario makers or in sandbox mode. Okay, so let's move on to map 2. We'll be spawning in round about here, picking up the loco, moving it down to here. So I will need to check and set all switches and points for the journey. Couple up and pick up the consist indicated at the yellow circle here. Head north via Hellgate Bridge and then northeast via Oak Point Yard. Go to map 3. Okay, so yep, we'll get to that sooner or later. Okay, so TrainSim World, NEC New York. Services. Spawning walking. You'll actually notice that the Geep 38 is actually not available in service mode. It's only available via scenarios. So I was wondering why I couldn't see it here, and that's the reason. So I'm going to spawn in walking to pick one up, and because I really want to show the new skyline and terrain, I think I'll stick with spring clear. Let's make it a bit on the windy side. Okay. And 8:30 is the spawn-in time, starting work. And at Fresh Pond Junction, let's get in. And you can see this. This is the map of the New York DLC. Okay, there's our two locos. And of course, this is the really nice thing I like about this. A lot of people have criticised Dovetail Games and TrainSim World, but I mean, there is no other. I mean, there's not that many train sims on the market, but this, graphic-wise, first of all, is by far the best. It's only been out just over a year. Secondly, just the ability to be able to wander around and jump in and out of trains, carriages, rolling stock, is, in my book, just puts it down as being a true sim. And as you probably know, I'm a big sim fan. Particularly with aircraft. So anyway, let's uncouple this. Very nice. Climb aboard. Actually, just by the by, you can actually access the engine area, I think. Whereabouts is it? Let's put my light on. I think it's, yeah, a bit further up. Yep, here we go. Unlock. Unlock. Open the engine door. Open the engine door. Just turn my light off. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, so you can actually cold start these things. Just turn my flashlight off. Okay. Let's open the windows. Okay, so we'll go with headlight, rear headlight dim, front headlight dim. Not gonna bother with the ditch lights or the step lights. Okay, so we have to go and pick up our consist. There. Yep, okay. So, brakes off. Reverse forward, couple of toots. We move in. So I don't know New York at all. Never visited there, so you'll have to forgive me if I point out the wrong landmarks and whatever. I'll do my best. So the reason why I think that this is the best DLC out of the whole lot is that, well, first of all, CSX Heavy Haul featured only freight runs, no passenger runs, but there was a bit of a sandbox mode. At this moment in time, there is no editor for this I understand that it's probably slated to be included. So basically, you have a sort of a quasi sandbox mode. And of course, the main problem is that because there's a lot of services available, you have to be careful that you don't interfere with those. Obviously, otherwise it creates all manner of problems. So I think that they've done quite a nice job of integrating the freight part, which is actually on separate tracks, to the scheduled passenger services, which is great for us scenario makers. Right, okay. Cut the chat and let us pick up our green boxes. And let's throw this into reverse. Yeah, so as I was saying, the reasons why I think that this is the best. The second release was the UK Great Western Railway. That also featured both passenger and goods, but the goods really didn't have a sandbox mode at all, so you couldn't actually put scenarios together. Okay. The third DLC was the high-speed German Leipzig run, which featured no freight at all. Completely, just complete passenger. Get back in and versa forwards. And I will, as I usually do, I'm just going to apply about 40% brake, so as I don't throttle up too quickly. I'll throttle 1. So as I can pick up these up these. Just watching my speed here. Okay, got it. Yep. So the Leipzig run is purely passenger. Yeah, it's the reason why I like this. Has a very good mixture of the sandbox freight and passenger, and a very ambitious New York skyline as well. Okay, so we are heading out, heading north. There. And there. Down to single track. Yep, that's all good. Oops. Zoom back in about here. Yep, that's all good. This is where we join the passenger routes. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And I just better check at Oaks Point Yard that I don't get messed up in the yard here, so yep, bypass the yard along here. And need to set that. Yeah, that's all good. Bring us on to here. Yep, that'll do us. Okay. Reverser. And away we go. Okay, 35 miles an hour is the speed we've been given. Yeah, so as you can see here, we're breaking the speed limits. I mean, we've been given the 35 miles anyway, or rather, I have. But it doesn't end the scenario, which is good. I like that. Some people might not, but I do. Okay, just leaving Fresh Pond Junction. And sort of a quite nice touch that Dovetail Games have left plenty of locos and rolling stock around in various places that you can just, you know, pick up a train, pick up a consist and head out. Alright, might increase our throttle to 3. And we've got our standard containers on the flat loader. And we're actually heading to the Hunts Point Intermodal facility. Check speed, 39. Move it down a notch. So quite a number of people have panned this simulation, mainly because initially there were some performance issues because of this new Unreal 4 engine, forgive the pun. But a lot of those issues have been ironed out as as per all new games and simulations in particular. There are always optimization problems. You only got to look at Star Citizen for that. But I also have a copy of Train Simulator 2018, which I used to play before this, and I can't actually play that anymore because the graphics are so dated, and of course you can't hop on and off trains, that I just don't play it anymore. Having said that, this DLC is not perfect at the moment. You will probably find as we go through this scenario some graphical glitches, but it's looking rather quiet on the freeways. Must be a Sunday morning. I don't think. But yeah, Dovetail Games, the team is sort of working on those things, and I really like the way that this sim's moving. Some people there are always people complaining, especially on Steam, about my game doesn't run properly, or this and that happens, or I'd like to see this. Why are you guys not doing, all that sort of bullshit. But it is what it is, and where the team pushes it, and I like the way it's going. Let's check speed, 38, still going a little bit fast. Let's just move it back a cog. The other thing I've noticed about this DLC is that initially on the first on the CSX heavy haul, I used to actually find a little bit of freeze framing, especially when an AI train spawned in. And I haven't actually been finding that on this route, so whether or not they've sort of ironed that out, I don't know. Okay, so here, this track here, oh look, okay, we've actually got a electric coming up behind us. Ah, nice. So yeah, as you can see with this AI spawning in, there was no glitch, which is quite nice. Alright, throttle up, we're heading uphill. And we're heading towards Hellgate Bridge. And I presume this is a fairly true representation of the smoggy distance that is in New York City. So obviously we're quite elevated here, heading towards Hellgate Bridge. Would be nice to have a lot of AI traffic wandering around the freeways, but that would certainly put a lot of strain on both the developers and the game. Let's move up down to throttle 2. A brief pause as we go back into the loco. Now I don't know what that bridge is over there in the foreground. I presume it's a road bridge. Check my speed. But apparently this is quite a railroad landmark, this bridge. Over the, is it the Hudson River? Yeah, as you can see, the water in the distance is quite patterned. But when you're up close to it, it sorts itself out. We're going downhill soon, so. Yeah, 40 miles an hour, we better idle. In fact, I better apply a little bit of brake. Bring me back to 35. Okay, let's just pull the brake off. Check speed up, 46. Getting away from us again. And over there is the Harlem Waste facility, which will feature in the second part of this vid, mainly because it's about the whole scenario that I put together takes about an hour to play. Okay, let me take the brake off. Yeah, so basically we'll be coming back down the line and then taking this section here in the second part after we've dropped this consist at the intermodal terminal. We'll be picking up another one. Okay, still need to slow down a little bit more. And we're now passing Oaks Point Yard, which is another area where you can pick up some locos and some rolling stock. I think from memory there's about, maybe 4 or 5 different places where you can pick up locos and rolling stock. Let's check speed. 38 will do us, okay. I need to apply a bit more brake. And we're coming up to our branch off area, which is right here. That heads down to the intermodal center. So I had better get back into cab. And look at where we're going to be stopping the train. Okay, so this girder bridge here, I think it's the Harlem River Bridge, I'm not sure, but essentially that's where we need to stop the end of the consist to swap the points to go into the intermodal center. So let me apply some braking. Just check. Oh yeah, we're well past the yeah, so let's just stop this thing as quickly as possible. As you can see, it takes a fair bit of stopping. Alright, oops, reverser into neutral, and let us, let me just pull the automatic brake off. Okay, so we'll be heading down here. And into the yard. Okay, I will now check where we've got to put this consist. So I need to go to map 4. Uncouple and drop off consist 1 at terminal 3 here, and then pick up consist 2 indicated by the yellow circle, which I'll do that in the next video. As I say, I don't want this to be too long. Alrighty, so we need to set the points. That's all good. That isn't. We need to set that there. We need to set that there, which will bring us into terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 3. Alrighty. Okay, so reverser forwards and brake off. A couple of toots for moving. And away we go. Alright, I'm going to jump into cab. I don't want to get this too fast. And apply some brake. Just swap views to the other side. Okay, the loco's just entering the yard now. Just watching my speed here, so I can stop the train reasonably quickly. And I think that will do me. Okay, let me just check. Yep, that is fine and dandy. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm just going to uncouple this consist. Yeah, I'm just going to move the train away from the rolling stock. And I need to go in reverse. Okay, there you have it. That's the first part of the vid finished. The second part will be heading sort of over here-ish to pick up a small consist to take over to Harlem Waste Terminal. Until then, I'll catch you later. Thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.